What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United in action in the Premier League, match day 38 up against Aston Villa at Old Trafford. 4 p.m. kickoff tomorrow and manager is Unai Emery. So earlier on in the season, Manchester United did draw 0-0 at Villa Park against Aston Villa in what was to be one of Erik ten Hag's final games in charge of Manchester United. He did go on to get sacked after the international break, if we remember correctly. So in terms of some insights for the match, Manchester United have won 40 Premier League games against Aston Villa, as only the Red Devils themselves have beaten an opponent more often, with 42 against Everton. Aston Villa have earned 8 points from their last 7 Premier League games against Manchester United, winning 2, drawing 2 and losing 3, as many as they had in their previous 31, winning 1, drawing 5 and losing 25. Only Arsenal 23 have won their final Premier League game of the season more often than Manchester United, while the Red Devils also have the lowest loss rate of any team to compete in the last 10 campaigns, with 12.5. And Aston Villa have won just once of their last 26 occasions. Their final league game of the season has come away from home, drawing 7 and losing 18, winning 3-1 at Chelsea in 2001-2002 season. Manchester United will finish this Premier League campaign without winning 2 matches in a row all season. It's only the 3rd time in the club's history that they've gone an entire league season without winning back-to-back games, after 1893-94 and 1921-22. So yeah, there's some damning stats for you right there. We haven't won 2 Premier League games in a row all season, and it's just absolutely abysmal. Abysmal league campaign so far, and it is going to be forever the worst season that I have had the pleasure of witnessing, to be honest. Aston Villa, though, are coming away with a 2-0 win against Spurs on Friday last week. They are, of course, chasing Champions League football, so we'll have a look at the league table before we head off. But I think they are currently 6th in the league. So yeah, in terms of Aston Villa's team news, Yuri Tielemans is doubtful, as he remains out with a muscle injury, so he is doubtful for the game. In terms of Aston Villa's starting lineup, this is who I think is going to line up with: Martinez in net, of course, Cash, Konsa, Mings and Digne making up the back 4, Kamara and Onana making up the 2 central defensive midfielders, Rodgers, Asensio, McGinn playing in behind Watkins, the striker. So Marcus Rashford is, of course, on loan at Aston Villa, but he is ineligible to play against his parent club, so he won't be featuring. In terms of Aston Villa's tactics, Aston Villa under Unai Emery primarily employ a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2 formation, or a 4-4-1-1 formation as well, characterized by a high defensive line and narrow midfield, designed to control space and disrupt opposing attacks. They also favour playing out from the back and building patiently, looking for opportunities to exploit gaps in the opposition's shape. So Villa playing out from the back, Villa prefers to play to build from the back, with the goalkeeper distributing to centre backs or full backs. Patient build-up play, they encourage methodical ball movement up the pitch, patiently waiting for openings in the opposition's defensive structure, utilising width. While the midfield is narrow, the full backs provide width in attack and support players. Versatile wide players as well. Wide players are capable of moving deeper to support the fullbacks and cover inside when needed. In terms of the final third, they like to deploy overlaps, underlaps, and getting many players in the box as well. So in terms of defending without possession, they do like to play with a high line. Villa pushes up their back 4 high up the pitch, effectively squeezing the opposition's space in the midfield third. Narrow midfield, the midfield operates in a compact manner, with defensive midfielder Kamara dropping back to create a back 5 and effectively marking the opposition's forwards. Congesting space, Villa aims to reduce the opposition's operating area by crowding the middle third, making it difficult for them to make passes passes or find space. Mid block, they sit off in a mid block and screen passes into rival forwards, but unlike many teams, they push their back four as close to the halfway line as possible. So in terms of the star man, I'm gonna have to say it's Ollie Watkins. He's got 16 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League. I think he's a decent striker. He's very dangerous in and around the box, and one we have to look out for if we are to win tomorrow. In terms of Manchester United, we are, of course, coming away with a disappointing Europa League final loss to Spurs, which we lost 1-0. The game was poor. It was poor going forward. I think both sides were poor going forward, but Manchester United especially were poor. They dominated the game with possession, but didn't manage to create nowhere near as many clear-cut opportunities as they should have. So in terms of, to summarize the match, there was an early defensive lapse in concentration that came in the 42nd minute when Tottenham's Brennan Johnson capitalised on a defensive lapse to score the only goal of the match. This early setback forced United to chase the game, altering their tactical approach and increasing pressure on their defence. Ineffective finishing despite dominance. Statistically, United dominated possession with 65% and registered 15 shots compared to Tottenham's 3. However, their inability to convert these opportunities into goals highlighted a lack of clinical finishing in the final third. I thought our front three were particularly poor, except for Ahmad. I think Mount and Højlund basically offered nothing in that game. And then number 3, managerial and tactical challenges. Under manager Ruben Amorim, United faced criticism for a lack of tactical innovation and youth development. The Europa League final loss intensified scrutiny over Amorim's strategies and decision making, raising questions about his suitability for leading the team forward. And it has to be said, Ruben Amorim did come out and question that he would be willing to resign if the board and the club didn't want him. And he wouldn't be taking any compensation. I think that's quite noble of him, but it does show that he has a lack of belief in him. He did say he didn't want to quit though, which is another thing, so he does kind of back himself as well, but it's kind of odd that he's come out and said that, in my opinion. But yeah, it was a poor loss to Tottenham Hotspur in the Europa League final, and I did predict a loss. And I think if we had won, it would have been papering over the cracks a little bit, because this season has been nowhere near good enough. It's been absolutely awful from start to finish under Erik ten Hag, and then it carried on under Ruben Amorim as well. We've not had a good season whatsoever. It's been very, very poor, and yeah, not much can be said about that. And had we won the Europa League final, it would have been papering over the cracks a little bit. Now it's absolutely raw. Everyone can see where the kind of problems are in this Manchester United side, not just in terms of on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. It's just poor. We're a poorly run club, and it's a big transfer window that's coming up in the summer. And honestly, I could see us honestly get relegated next season if we carry on the way we are. If the teams coming up from the Championship are decent, if they're anywhere decent, if they are decent, unlike the 3 relegated sides this season, if they are decent, then we could be in trouble next season. But yeah, in terms of team news for this game, of course, Martinez and Dele are out of this game. So in terms of United starting lineup, this is who I've gone with. This is who I would prefer to be starting. Actually, I would probably prefer Chido Obi Martin to start ahead of Højlund. But yeah, Onana and net, Euro, Maguire, and Mazraoui, Maguire, and Euro making up the back 3. Ahmad, I want to see him in that right wing back position. Ugarte and Menu making up the 2 in midfield, and Dogu at the left wing back position. Then in front 3 of Garnacho, Fernandes, and Højlund. And a lot has been said about this front 3, and personally, I would like this front 3 to be changed. I want a brand new front 3 for the start of next season, because I don't think this front 3 is good enough in my opinion. But yeah, in terms of United star man, it's gonna have to be Bruno Fernandes. He creates the most chances for us, and we rely on him the most for chance creation, assists, and goals as well. So how do you beat Aston Villa? Honestly, I've got no idea, and I don't care, to be honest. I don't think we're going to get anything from this game. I think Aston Villa are a very good side, and they are chasing Champions League qualification. So finally, let's have a look at the league table and see what can be see what can be salvaged for us in terms of the highest position which we can finish. So let's pull up the league table right now. So Manchester United are in 16th position with 39 points. If Tottenham do get anything from the game against Brighton tomorrow, and we lose, then we're going to be finishing 17th. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do finish 17th, because I don't see us winning against Aston Villa tomorrow. Aston Villa, on the other hand, are in 6th position. They are tied on points with two other sides. They are tied on 66 points with Newcastle and Chelsea. So for Newcastle, for Aston Villa to have any hope of Champions League football next season, they are going to have to beat Manchester United, and they are going to have to hope that one of Chelsea and Newcastle do drop points tomorrow. So yeah, in terms of my score prediction for tomorrow, I don't think Manchester United are going to win. I think Villa are going to win 2-0, courtesy of goals from, I'm going to say, I think Ollie Watkins is going to score, and I think Marco Asensio is going to score as well. So yeah, I'm going for a 2-0 Manchester United loss, or a Aston Villa 2-0 win. But yeah, I don't really care what the scoreline is tomorrow. I'm basically fed up of this season, and I can't wait to finish. But yeah, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.